Hello, surprise. Just thought I'd do a little pop-up here because I have questions and hopefully the Dowsing Rods will have some answers for us. So I'll wait a few minutes while some folks pop in. Oh, loud plane going overhead. So I'll just wait a minute here. Give folks time to be notified. I'll pull Linda G and put on some lipstick. Oh, Ness. Hello. I've missed you. How are you? Hi, Dorella. Great to see you, Maria. Now, these are going to be political or current events questions. Let me pop that banner. Here we go. Pop that up. And you guys can ask questions, but I have so many questions. I know you do too. We live in such a weird world. Maria, we're not going to do personal questions today, just current events. You've been busy, Ness? Good. Are you doing more astrology work? That's great. Hi, Amanda. Do you hear my sirens outside? I've been hearing a lot of sirens today, and we have had protests here. I don't know if it's related to that, but we have had protests here in Denver, Colorado. Yes, we're going to ask about Padilla. That's a good idea. Yeah, I have a little list of questions, but I know you guys have questions too. I'll give you a little rundown of what we're going to talk about. I wanted to ask about the LA protests and their broader implications. Kendra says they're supposed to have protests this weekend. Yeah, we have one of those No Kings. Oh, Ness says it broke my heart seeing ICE chase farm workers. I saw that too. Yes. Oh, okay. We'll ask about your Bosnia situation too. Yeah. Elon, I want to know about that too. The Elon situation. Hi, Heather. There's my sister. Heather and I are finally squared away with our trip to Shasta together. So excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Yes. Less time on YouTube. Yeah, it's probably a good thing, Ness, but I miss it when I'm busy too. I'm very busy too. So we're talking about the LA protests a little bit. Yes, the airplane crash is a good one. I am going to Shasta. Ness, are you going to be there? I know you live in California. Yes. Yes. Okay. And I wanted to ask about the military parade, but Ness, I've started your question. That's a good one. The airplane crash in India. I have that one as well. I want to ask a little bit about these charges about Abrego Garcia. I want to ask about Anonymous. Does anybody else want to know about that? I have questions about the weather. Things like that, yes. Oh, Amanda, are you going to come? I met Amanda there 2 years ago. So excited. All right, Dorella, I got that question too. Will the White House secretary be replaced? Okay. Yes. So lots and lots of. Okay, Ness says a lot of plane crashes are related to Pluto and Aquarius as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to start asking. Well, let's see. You guys pop your questions in. I want to star a few questions before. Yep, I have that question, Ness. That's a good one. Will Anonymous reveal something big on July 1st? I didn't know exactly when he released that statement, so I kind of put it into July 1st to 4th category, but right around then. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Hi, Christine. We're just doing current events questions tonight. So I appreciate your question, but hold it for the next time, please. Ness says, will no one show up to a Trump's parade? Yeah. I'm from Washington, D.C. So is Heather. The suburbs. And I'm curious if I have any family members who I don't know of anybody who will be going. Darilla, I got your question about the Speaker of the House. Oh, no worries, Christine. Okay. All right. I'm going to start asking some questions. You keep those questions coming in. I'll try to grab to star them, but if I miss them, I'll let you know. But let me start with a few of the questions I have, and I'll give a little demonstration for those. We only have a few people in the room right now, but I'll start with some of my questions. Okay, I got your question, Christine, about Orlando. Dorella. Oh, yes. We do want to know about Gavin Newsom, don't we? I mean, it's been an interesting week. A lot of public kind of showdowns, right? Amanda said, I heard that a clown association will be at the parade. I heard that too. I heard Linda G said something about that. That's hilarious. They're going to all get dressed up with, orange face or something like that. Thank you, Dorella. Okay. Oh, Kendra says, I feel like the climate in general is crazy. Got a weird feeling. Yeah. You and me both. That's for sure. Okay, I'm going to just start with the LA protests really quickly. And I'm going to take this banner down. So if you wouldn't mind letting people know that we're not doing personal questions. If you see any come in, that would be very helpful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn off my phone here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, they're talking about that situation with Castillo. So how do you pronounce it? All right. So first, I want to show you how these work. So I just ask my angels and guides to come in and ask if you are ready and able to answer questions for us today. That's my yes. It crosses in front of me. Okay. And uncross. Thank you. All right. And can you show us a no? There we go. Thank you, Dorella. That's my no. Okay. All right. They're just getting warmed up. I can tell. Yes. I agree with you, Amanda. Okay. So the first question that I want to ask, and I'm going to sit back a little bit more. Sorry, you have to look at my unpacking from moving into this house came to a screeching halt when my summer camps began. So I guess I could be doing that now instead of live, but I'd rather be here with you. So, okay, I'm going to ask about the LA protests first. Will the LA protests be resolved in the next few days? Ooh, a very definitive no. Okay. I think we know the answer to this already, but will they spread across the country and grow? Yes. Is this the start of, let's see, is this the start of the demise of the Trump administration? Yes. There we go. Yes, this question. Is Donald Trump afraid of these protests? Yes, he is. Does he understand why people are protesting? No, and I heard just now, like he thinks like he really does have a narcissist. What's the word? He's a narcissist. He believes that he's, God's gift. Okay. I like that question. Is 47 on a downward spiral, Dorella? Ooh. Yeah. So it's the start of the beginning is what the answer was. He's a narcissist and entitled. Yeah. Does and I asked this, is this the beginning of the end of his administration? Yes. Maybe I didn't ask that before. That was a very big yes. Okay. And I think you had a question about this. Ness, will the military parade have a positive effect on the Trump administration? No. And who was sickened by all those images of the tanks, one after another, coming in on trains into DC? And from being from there, and I lived right there, probably where those trains were coming in. I lived in Arlington, Virginia, before I moved here a long time ago, but it just made me ill. Okay, Ness, we'll ask that question now. Yes, no. Okay. Will there be an unaliving attempt on Trump on the 14th or 15th? Oh, hey, look at this. That looks like a yes, but I'm also sort of feeling like it might be something that gets squelched and we don't know about it. Okay. Will the military have to remove him forcibly? So I guess that means let's get to that in a moment because I have some questions. All right. Will this military parade have a negative effect on Donald Trump? Look at that. No hesitation. I'm going to star a couple things. Yeah, the tanks were disgusting, Amanda. I mean, it looked like Nazi Germany. It really did. It was just awful. And $45 million is the estimated cost. That's before the damage, I think. Okay. So it will have, my last question, it will have a negative effect. Does the military overwhelmingly support the parade? That's a no. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. Do some members of the military support the parade? Yes. Do most members of the military support the parade? No. I have a young man that works for me who just recently got out of the Marines, and he's disgusted by what he sees going on. So just letting you know. Okay. Will protests occur at the parade? That's a slight yes. You see it's just crossing, but I think that, and it's bouncing. That's funny. I think that means they will try. I have a feeling they're going to get, his goons are going to lead them out of there before they really get to do much. Okay. Hi, Melody. Good to see you. Yes. Okay. A major clearing. It won't last long. Yes. Okay. Well, let's talk about that U.S. Senator really quickly. Castillo, I think his name is. Tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Okay. Will Senator Castillo's assault be, let's see. Will he sue for his assault? Padilla, thank you. Padilla, thank you very much. Okay, that was a yes. So he will sue. Okay. Will anyone be held accountable for his handcuffing and his being arrested? No. Will they eventually be held accountable for his arrest? Whoa, that was a big yes. Okay. All right. Will Christy Nome be fired for Padilla's assault? Thank you. That's the correct word. Will Christy Nome be fired for her assault? I heard a no before the Rods said that. Padilla. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to mess up his name. Okay. All right. I just want to go back and see what questions some of you had. Let's see if they're on the same line of questioning. That's a good question, Ness. Ness asks, will few people show up at Trump's parade? It's kind of it looks bigger than it is, but it's not. It's sort of a ish. Okay. I think, and I saw that too, Ness. So Ness's comment was that she saw a Craigslist ad looking for people, particularly they want people of color, in the seats wearing red hats. It was literally on Craigslist. So will people be seat fillers at the parade? That's a yes. Thanks, Amanda. It's okay. We'll try to answer some of your questions. I got your question too. Yes, Kendra says she saw Trump stumbling up the steps on Air Force One. Remember when he used to insult Biden for that? Okay. I'm going to ask another question, and then I'll get to yours. Don't worry. Okay. Here we go. All right. Abrego Garcia. Was Kilmar Abrego Garcia actually involved in human trafficking? There's a no. Okay. Will he eventually be found innocent? Look how slow that was, guys. This is, that poor man. Yeah, Ness says if Trump had to hire seat fillers, goes to the question of whether he actually won the election. We know he didn't. Okay, I got your question too. And Maria, I got your question about Bosnia as well. Okay. All right. So will others be held responsible for faking charges against Abrego Garcia? And that's a yes. Okay. I'm going to try to get through my list, but then I'm going to answer all of yours, and some of them may be the same ones. Okay. Abrego Garcia. I'm sorry, we already said that. Anonymous is what I wanted to go to next. So Anonymous, if anybody's seen this on TikTok, they came on. They're the folks who come on with that mask, kind of like a Guy Fawkes mask or whatever that is. And they have their voice disguised, but they've already dropped some bombs about different things that were actually true about Donald Trump and other underground groups and things that are being hidden from us. So, and it's believed that there are a bunch of hackers or insiders who have information. Okay. And so, yes. So Ness, I have the same question. Will Anonymous reveal something big on July 1st? Yes. Hi, Tina Halleck. Good to see you. Okay. I just decided to pop on tonight because I had a moment. Okay. You have that right, Bomb Bomb. Biden lives rent-free in Cheeto's head. Okay. Will the evidence that anonymous releases be damning against Donald Trump? Oh, quick. That was fast. That was a quick one. Okay. Will the evidence that they release be in reference to election fraud? Yes. Okay. Will they release information also about the Epstein files? Yeah, a slower yes. I feel like this is going to primarily be about election fraud then. Will the information they release actually affect a change in this administration? Yes. Guys. Okay. Sorry, when I do that, it means I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised. Okay. Will it contribute to the cause of his downfall? Will the information they release cause more MAGA folks to change their view of him? Yes. Oh, yes. Does the information they have implicate Vance as well? Yes. I think it's just that the whole election was they cheated. And somebody asked, I don't see who it is 47 really on Epstein's list? Oh, yes. Good question, Amanda. Will election fraud be what finally brings him down? Yes. Yes. Will it implicate Elon Musk as well? Oh, that was a quick one. Hi, Annie Bear. Nice to see you. And hi, everyone who's joined us. Thank you so much. Is Anonymous working with Election Truth Alliance? Is that what they're called? Election Truth Alliance. Yes, they're working together. Okay. All right. Do you want to ask about Elon Musk really quickly while we're sort of touching it? There we go. Will Elon Musk drop big info on 45th's birthday? Oh, hey. Honor round. And I see some other questions here. Will he be brought down? Can I do a countdown? Says Melody. Okay. Yeah, I think it did say yes. Will Donald Trump be brought down this year by the election fraud? Ooh. Will he try to escape once things get... Oh, man, it started to cross before I even got the question out. So will he try to escape when things start to heat up on the election fraud? Will Donald Trump successfully escape? Oh, dear. Okay. Let another country have him. Let's see. Annie Bear says, is Elon working with another country is that what you meant? For asylum? With our country? I'm not sure. Is Elon working with this country for asylum? Yes. Wow. My hands are pulsing. You don't even know. It's really crazy. Okay. Libby reads he passes in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. That's what I think. It's like in that region. Will Elon Musk escape to Saudi Arabia? That was kind of a ish. Will it be somewhere in the Middle East? Okay, there we go. Where do you think, Kendra? Okay. Will Musk also have to escape? Yes, he will. Will the information that Musk has be instrumental in Donald Trump's downfall? Oh, okay. Yeah, Qatar is a strong contender. Will Donald Trump escape to Qatar on his little golden $400 million plane? Okay. Lordy. Okay. Will that happen before December? Oh. Yes. Will it happen before September? You can't see this. It looks like they're out. They're actually perfectly parallel. It's just the angle. Okay. Very interesting. So that's kind of like undecided. Will he escape before the end of the year? Yeah. Okay. Will this bring down many other members of the Republican Party when he goes down? Yes, it will. Yeah, I think Musk will. I mean, let me ask this weird question. Will Musk turn out to be a hero in the end? Ironically, yes. Look at that. Oh, Ness. When is your birthday? I would like to have America back. Mine's September 30th. That would be my hope. Okay. Will the Republican Party be changed forever after this? Yes. July 3rd. Okay. Will the fireworks, will the revelations begin to fly in July? Yes. Begin to come out. Will we have disclosures by the end of June? No, not really. It's getting close. Will we have revelations? Will we have disclosures in July? Yep. I think July, and I've always gotten something about July, August. I think July is when the bombs are going to start going off. Yes, a fellow Libran, Melody. Absolutely. Okay. I want to ask this question because I've always seen it in my third eye. Will I don't know what it is, like U.S. Marshals or the military, some force like that, have to physically remove Donald Trump? Yes. I've always seen it. Okay. Will Anonymous expedite the process? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Some of you had questions, and I'm going to go back and get them right now, and we can keep asking questions because I am so curious and I love it. It feels like I get more answers when everyone's here. The energy is here. So I'm just going to go right down the line. Maria asks about Bosnia. Wondering if the Republika Srpska, I am sorry if I'm not saying that right, separate itself from Bosnia? Will it separate itself from Bosnia? That looks like an eventually, yes. I don't think it's right now. See how it wobbled? Okay, thanks. She says the tension is very strict between Muslims, Croats, and Serbs. Okay, Dorella asks, I'm going to start putting your questions up. Is Elon's threat of leaving Tesla actually happening or just an attention? Is Elon going to leave Tesla? Yes. I just heard that he's going to be asked to leave. I don't think we'll know that necessarily, but he's kind of laying the groundwork for that. Yes, we answered that one. Okay, we want to know what the cause of the India crash was. Okay. Oh, good night, Bomb Bomb. Thank you. Oh, and I got your question too, Gina. Thank you. Let me start. All right. I have a few questions too. Okay. All right. So let's ask really quickly about that crash in India today. Okay. Was the airliner crash in India an accident? That's a yes. Okay. All right. So it was an accident. Wow. Any other questions related to that? I was just curious. There's something like 200 souls lost. One survived. Yes, it was an accident. Oh, so sad. Let's just send our prayers. Okay, thank you. Dorella, will the White House secretary be replaced? Will the White House secretary be replaced? Yes. Will she be replaced when Donald Trump goes down? No. Will she be replaced before Donald Trump goes down? Yes. Will she leave willingly? I see her. So intuitively, I see her like a rat jumping from the ship. Like she tries to escape before anything happens, anything further happens, because she knows what's going on. Yeah, what's up with 11A? That was very interesting. Okay. Ness asks, was it divine intervention that one soul survivor remained? Yes. And I'm sort of seeing that it's almost like he has a purpose, like a greater purpose somehow to draw attention to something. I don't know what that is. Has he been left on earth to fulfill a greater purpose? I think the answer is we all have that, but that was a yes. Okay. All right. He was protected by divine forces? Yes. Okay. Wow. Very interesting, guys. That was super interesting. All right. I'm starting a few quick questions and then I will continue. Yes, Ness, you had divine. I think we all have had divine intervention moments, right? Okay. I'm going to carry on with some of your questions quickly here. Okay. We already talked about anonymous. We can ask more if you want. And all right, Dorella also asks, is the Speaker of the House going to get the boot? It's a yes, but it's kind of eventually. I don't think Mike, MAGA Mike might be like the last man standing, once things start to go down. That's my feeling. He is a true believer. Will the protests be peaceful? Okay, yes, let's ask that question. Will the protests across the country be largely peaceful? And that's a yes. It's not a strong yes. It's just the tips crossed, but it means, I think, for the most part. Let me ask this other question. Will anyone get injured? Will the police or you know, the the MAGA police harm anyone at the No Kings rallies this weekend? Oh, no. I don't like that. Okay. And so what they're saying is, like, if you feel like they're really kind of coming in, if you do attend one of these things, they're saying, just sit down, kind of don't do anything, don't engage them. Okay. I saw your question. Did you hear Henry bark? All right. I got your question. Another question, Dorella. Okay. And Melody. Sorry, great questions are coming in. Let me make sure I get this. Somebody says, I am worried about, Ness says, I'm worried about the Texas rallies. Yeah, because their governor has said that they would use force. Hi, Nancy. We all have spiritual gifts, but tonight we're just asking current events questions. Thank you. Yes, please. Annie Bear says, let's all send light and request extra angels with every single peaceful protester. Okay, Lynn, have a good night. All right. So we asked this question. Let's go on here. Is Orlando going to escalate with the protests downtown? Will Orlando escalate with the protests downtown? It comes really close. I actually feel that the police or the National Guard or whoever it is are going to squash the protests. I hate to say that, but I think that they're not messing around, just like in Texas. Okay. Dorella says, who will sue whom regarding the protests in California? Newsom sue Trump or Trump sue? Okay. Well, Newsom, I think, already sued Trump. Let's ask this. Will Trump try to arrest Newsom? No. It's kind of a wimpy no. Like, he wants to. I feel it. Will Trump sue Newsom? That's kind of a wimpy no, too. So I don't think he will. Will Cuomo be the next New York mayor? Okay. I'll ask some of those other questions. I see Annie Bear. I see a bunch of other questions. Will Cuomo be the next New York mayor? Oh, that's a yes. Again? Or is this the other brother? Okay. I like this question, Lynn. Will Newsom be the next U.S. president? It's kind of this looks like it's really wide. It's only kind of a wimpy. It's that angle from where you can see, the way you see the rods. Will Newsom run for president at some point in the future? That's a yes. Will Newsom ever become president? Look at that. That's a yes. A little surprising. I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised by that. I think he's got the right temperament. Annie Bear asks, how about Seattle? Will the protests continue in Seattle? Oh, that's a big hell yes. Oh, yeah. I'm going to ask for my own city. Will the protests continue in Denver, Colorado? Yes. Okay. Ness feels a fire sign for the next president. Fire sign: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Lynn says Newsom's a bit of a sleaze bag, but I know. I mean, starting back there are a few reasons. Yeah. When he was eating at French Laundry during COVID. Okay. We got that. Okay, Melody, you asked about Australia's Prime Minister is about to meet Trump. Will it go wonderfully? Okay. Will the meeting with Australia's Prime Minister and Trump go well? That's kind of a wimpy no. It's not going to be a fun. I think there's going to be some spicy words between the two. Yeah. Let me ask this question. Sorry, I'm bouncing around, but now I'm just taking them in order, okay? Will the protests go to New York City in front of Trump Tower? Will there be protests? I'm already hearing yes in New York City. Yeah. I should ask my son to go look. Will there be protests outside of Mar-a-Lago in Florida? I feel like not much in Florida because I feel like they're going to be very protected. Oh, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, isn't she just? She's just awful. Okay, all right. Will Pam Bondi be imprisoned? Okay, I'm a little surprised by that. Okay, will she be implicated in advancing the unlawfulness? Yes. Okay. I don't know if I'm saying that very well, but you know what I'm saying. Will she step down voluntarily? Nope. No, she won't. Hi, Craig. Okay. Ness says, if you want to be keyboard warriors, feel free to create fake Craigslist ad to recruit extras for his parade. He's already doing that. Oh, you mean sign up to be extras? Yeah. That's kind of like people did for, I don't know, some big event. People signed up for tickets and then didn't show. I think it was a rally. Okay. I'm not sure what you're asking. Will this diffuse their ability to recruit people? Are you talking about the Craigslist ads? Will the revelation of the Craigslist ads diffuse their ability to recruit people? Sorry, that was Henry. He coughed. That's a no, not really. I think there are just people who want the money because they're offering $1,000 on those Craigslist ads. The Idaho rally. I don't know anything about that, Lynn. What was that? Thank you, Annie Bear. Yeah, they are offering $1,000 on those Craigslist ads. If you go to Washington, D.C., this is what I saw. Go to Washington, D.C. Craigslist, like change the location, and then look for gigs. And I think they're calling it seat fillers or something like that. Yes, and they're paying in crypto. You're right. I saw that. We must have seen the same thing. Thanks, Annie Bear. He was just clearing his throat. I don't know about the Idaho rally. I'm going to have to look that up. Amanda says, what do you bet they won't be paid after all? Let's ask that question. Will the seat fillers actually be paid for their time? Oh, yeah, but they're going to be paid in worthless crypto. Okay. That was when TikTokers bought all the seats for a Trump rally. That's right. Snopes can't verify the ad, but says it might be a joke. Okay. Is the Craigslist ad a joke? I'm getting kind of look, it's crossing. It's sort of like 50-50. I think they probably are putting out seat filler requests, but I think that people caught on and have put more out. Okay. All right. So Pam Bondi is going to jail. You know, when let me just tell you something about when I see Pam Bondi. Same with Rubio. And somebody asked about Rubio. We can ask about him. Whenever I see Pam Bondi's face, I feel this incredible sense of fear because I think I've heard she's a good lawyer. I think she knows what she's doing is wrong. And I think he has, the goods on her because I think he paid to put her in her spot. Trump did. If you recall, I think he made a very big donation to her campaign to become Florida Attorney General. And so I think that he kind of holds that over her. I feel fear from her. I feel fear from Rubio as well. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do. Yeah, Bondi should live in fear, says Lynn LeClaire. So many people hate her. Oh, when asked about the Padilla situation, I see. Okay, maybe we can ask that in a minute. Like he did with Kavanaugh, he put him in because he controlled him. That's all he knows. I mean, he's a mob boss. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, Lynn LeClaire also sees fear in him. I mean, I just think that they've got some, he's just following in Putin's, methodology. Okay. And let's see. So Annie Bear asks, is 45 using magic tactics? Tell me what you mean. Or did you mean mafia? I think you meant mafia. Yeah. Is 45 using look, it wants to cross. I was trying to straighten them out. There's a big old yes. Big old yes. Okay. There we go. All right. There was another question that I wanted to. Oh, okay. Will Marco Rubio leave his post in the White House? Will Marco Rubio leave his post? I mean, again, look, it's neither a yes nor a no. Will he leave when the Trump administration leaves? Okay. Here's what I think about Rubio. Tell me what you guys think. I get the feeling that Rubio might be a mole inside the White House. Anybody else feel that? I think Rubio might be spilling some beans I think to Republicans who want Trump out. None of them will say it out loud. I always sort of see that's part of the reason I think he's scared, because I think he's afraid of being found out. I think he, I actually even think he may have taken the post in the White House as Secretary of State to be eyes and ears for the party because people knew. Okay. All right. Okay. Rubio's face during the Zelensky thing was interesting. It sure was. It sure was. When Zelensky was in the White House, in the Oval Office. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rubio, he was insulted. His family was insulted. Plus, his family were immigrants from Cuba. So it just makes absolutely no sense. Okay, Ness says explosions heard in Tehran. Shall we ask about whether there will be a war in Ukraine in Iran? Will the U.S. go to war against Iran? Ugh. Bouncy, bouncy. Look at this. I think it's no, will the U.S. and Iran, but I think that the U.S. is supporting the bombing behind the scenes. I see that Israel is claiming credit at the IDF. Is the U.S. supporting the IDF? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Will somebody ask this question? I'm going to go back up and we'll. Okay. It does sort of feel like Ukraine is starting to, I don't know if they have the upper hand, but they're starting to fight back in an effective way. Is the war in Ukraine going to be over soon? Yes. There we go. Will the war in Ukraine end this summer? Yes, I feel like toward the end of the summer. I already asked your question about the Balkans, Maria. It was a yes. Yeah, that they would leave, but eventually. Okay. Oh, good. Will Melania divorce 47 once he crashes and burns? That's a yes. It's kind of a wimpy yes. Okay. Sorry, what am I seeing here? Oh, okay. All right. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Will the Republic of... Okay, I'll say, will the Republic of... And I don't know how to pronounce that. Srpska leave Bosnia this year? Not this year. Okay. Will they leave next year? Yes. Eventually they will. Yes. Does 47 have a prenup with Melania? Oh, yes. Will Melania be a widow in the next year? Sneaky way you asked that, Lynn. Will Melania be a widow within the next year? Yes. Oh, my. Oh, I have a question. I see a bunch of questions coming in, so I'll get to those. But has anybody seen the stuff online that's suggesting that that Donald Trump is, I'm going to say for entertainment purposes only, is that he's wearing a Foley catheter? So is Trump wearing a catheter? Oh my, oh my. The man can't hold his water, as they say. Will Obama be vocal about the LA situation soon? Will Obama speak out about the LA situation soon? That's kind of a no. Will he eventually speak out? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I think about Obama and all the, the ex-presidents, Biden and even Bush and whatever. I think they all know that the election was like horribly rigged. This includes Kamala. Somebody asked us, will Kamala be a part of our next government, next U.S. government? No. Does she know? And I think she's just like traumatized by what she went through. Does she know that the election was rigged? Yes. I also feel like Melania was like told, concede, we're just gonna move on. And I think she's got a sour taste in her mouth. That's my feeling. I don't think it'll be canceled, but we can ask. I heard it's going to rain, Gina. Will his birthday parade be canceled? No. Will it rain on his parade? Yes. I love the symbolism of that. I feel, Ness, I know I feel like these ex-presidents and all these people who were all like jumping up and down, why aren't they talking? But I think they all know what's coming. Can we ask really quickly about Mark Rutte? I think that's how you pronounce it. He's with who's Mark Rutte with? He's with the EU, I believe, right? Or NATO. Is Mark Rutte aware of the election fraud? Yes. Is Mark Rutte working with the EU to help provide evidence? Look at that. Yes. Okay. Who's Travis Decker? I don't know. I'll ask the question, but I don't know who he is. Will the authorities find Travis Decker soon? He's the man that murdered. Will they find him soon? Yes. I think he's going to be dead. Sorry, I just heard that. I felt that. Will the Obamas be divorcing? I'm hearing no. Will the Obamas be divorcing? It's kind of a wimpy no. I feel like it could be in the future, but not now. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Mm-hmm. Darrell asked, does 47 have a weave on the top of his head? Does he have a weave on the top of his head? No. You know what he has? Has he had hair replacement surgery? They've said, this has been in the books, and he has scars all over his scalp. That's why he swoops his hair up, whatever hair he has left. Ness says, I feel she is tired. Yes, I agree. And then we're talking about Kamala here. Somebody had a question about ICE, but ask that again, please. Will Biden be alive by the end of the year? Oh, I don't like asking this question. I'm just going to tell you my intuition is yes. I'm just going to say yes, because I feel like he will be. I don't think he's going to be in terrific health. But, okay. Do the ex-presidents know what's coming? Yes, look at that. Yes. I feel like they have a good idea of what's coming, and there's more that they don't even know. Is there more to this election fraud story than any of us even know. I mean, it almost feels kind of like a worldwide, conspiracy. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, Ness said, you heard yes, that he might not be alive anymore. I don't know if that was about the Bidens. Okay. Hi, Joyful Journey. Okay. You started. Who will bring 45 down and remove him from office? Now, I think we've kind of talked about this. We're doing Dowsing Rods tonight, so I will narrow it down. Is 45 going to be brought down by people in his own party? Look at that. There's a yes. Okay. Will he also be brought down? Will he be brought down by a coalition of forces? Yes. And as I said before, I think there are people in the EU and around the world who are helping. Is the EU and NATO helping to bring? Yes. That's a big yes. So I feel like the NATO is really strong, is figuring strongly behind this, because these meetings they're all happening kind of in the secret. There's never anything that comes out when we see him come and meet with the guy from NATO, meet with is he from NATO? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, you never hear any news about what they met about. He met a bunch of like Congress people recently. Okay. So what is coming? I have to say, I just feel like end of July, August, it feels like boom, 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 like all of these like shockers, shocking revelations. So I don't really know. Okay. But I will answer. I don't think JD will be our next president. And I'll ask the Dowsing Rods, will JD Vance be our next president? No. I think he's going to be brought down with Trump. Will ICE be stopped by the end of the summer? Thank you, Gina. I knew I saw your question before. Will ICE be stopped with the, grabbing people off the street? Will ICE be stopped by the end of the summer? Oh, okay. Maybe by the very end of the summer, because it feels like it's going to take a little while. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible what's happening. I mean, these families are being broken up. Okay. About Travis. Oh, did my signal drop? I'm sorry. Okay. ICE. Let me see. I'm a little behind. Let me get back. Oh, thank you, Annie Bear. Thanks for staying. Yeah, I love these questions. And like I said, I wanted to get on and ask with you guys because you all have such great questions. Plus, I feel like the rods are more responsive when there are more of us in the room. Dorella, I'm going to have to look up this Travis. I've been in a deep cave with my summer camps, so I have to look up Travis Decker. I'm sorry, I don't know. Did Travis Decker kill himself? Oh, there we go. If he hasn't already, I feel like he will. Oh, good question, Craig Dixon. Will the Native American tribes be? I mean, they're talking about deporting people from elsewhere. Like, where are the Native Americans from, right? They should deport the rest of us, right? Will the Native American tribes be harassed by the ICE raids? Do you see how what I'm hearing is some people are getting scooped up in the, because they're being mistaken for Mexicans or, people from South or Central America. But I think generally speaking, not. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're kind of, I don't think they're being very discriminating, but I don't think they're necessarily being targeted. Oh, Lynn says, if anyone in the LA area needs help, my home is open. I hate what is going on. These raids are terrible. You are so sweet and so sweet to offer. I don't feel like he's going to get out of this alive. Dorella, this Travis person. Okay. Annie Bear says she's constantly mistaken for other races. Yeah. Are you Native American, Annie Bear? Craig says, on the Navajo tribe, nothing is happening now, but I had to have my tribal ID updated. Yeah, and you're a military veteran. But I said this earlier, I have a young man who works for me who just got out of the military. He was in the Marines, and he cannot stand what he sees being done with the military, how they're being politicized. Yeah. So let's have one more line of questioning. Thank you so much for staying with me, guys. Oh, you're a tribal elder. Oh, that's beautiful. Which tribe, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, I'm going to ask a little bit about weather. And okay, can we expect wild weather I'm going to just say in the U.S. this summer? Yes. Okay. Can we expect a bad hurricane season? Yes. I will ask that, Gina. Thank you about the military. I did earlier, but let's ask it again. Okay. Will we see fires this summer? Oh. Okay. Will we see the volcanoes? Will we see more volcanoes this summer? Oh, a big, big yes. And I know that Alaska, near where my sister lives, has been rumbling for a while. Okay. Amanda says Dr. Jennifer Lisa Vest is providing some powerful content, and she's been in the LA area. Okay. All right, we'll ask again about the military. I got no, but I got some, but not the broader, not as many people. Okay. Does the military back Trump? See, I got kind of this bobbly thing before too. And then it's a no. And what I feel is there's like this they're torn because of, duty, and they've been taught, the chain of command and all that kind of thing. But eventually they're going to be like, enough. I feel like enough people are just going to be like, Okay, Dorella says, will it stop constantly raining in New York? That's kind of like a weird question. It says yes. I'm sorry. Okay, Annie Bear says, Swinomish, Nisqually, Puyallup, and Sauk. Seattle. Is that where the name Seattle came from? Seattle? Oh, I'm getting a chill. I just got a chill. Okay. Very cool. And Irish. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to just see if, will there be more tornadoes in areas that aren't typical? Yes, Kendra. Okay. And I'm going to ask just a couple more questions because I could do this all night, but I think people need to, move on and go to sleep. Okay. I think pockets of support, but not all. I totally agree with you, Kendra. Pockets of military support, but I actually see that most of the military leaders are horrified. I saw that retired General Honore, I think that's how you pronounce it. He was just recently on, I don't know, one of the MSNBC or something, and he's horrified. It's not what they were meant to do. No, Chief Seattle. Oh, okay. Very cool. I love it. Okay. Well, can we just wrap up the evening by, I'll ask this one really quickly, Ness. Is Boeing the reason the plane crashed? Is Boeing the reason the plane crashed? And no. I feel like this was like a maintenance concern or something like that. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Kendra. I love these sessions too. Let's turn to some spiritual questions now, if you don't mind. Okay. Yeah, Dorella. Oh, human error. Yeah. And that could be like, if I say maintenance, it could be that somebody, forgot to, I don't know, tighten the bolts. I know nothing about what. Did they change the oil? Did they, do something to the depressurize the plane? I don't know. Okay. Chief Seattle, more correctly known as Seattle. Seattle. Okay. All right. So I want to ask a question now about our angels and our guides, and go into the spiritual questions. And I want to ask, I'm going to take this question down. Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. And you are welcome to post your questions too. But I want to know, is there a spiritual reason why we are experiencing what we're experiencing in the world right now? Yes. Is the reason that we're going through all of these crazy times due to an ascension? Look at that. Dorella, I'm not sure if I'm going live tomorrow night because Friday nights are a little bit crazy. If I do, it might have to be late. So I think I might. That's why I'm sorry to be vague, because this is our first week of summer camps, and Friday nights are kind of a crazy cleanup night. Okay. Okay. Is the Earth? Oh gosh, I was going to say, is the Earth ascending as well as humanity? And that was a yes. It crossed before I even finished. And my guides are I feel like they really like this line of questioning, so let's do it. Are we ending a cycle of difficulty so that we can move into a new yuga, as they call it? Yes. Okay. Will we begin on a new course in 2025? No. Sorry, guys. Will we begin to see improvements in 2026? Yes. And that's like a little slight cross. So we will really start to see it. Kendra, are we going through a reset period? Yes. And they're showing me that spiral, like we're kind of coming, I feel like we're going up the spiral and kind of coming back around to kick off a new era. Okay. I like that. News update. Judge rules to block troops in LA. Trump would have to appeal now. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, I feel like the courts are doing their job. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions about, is there anything else that our angels and guides want us to know now? Okay. That was a quick one. Do they want us to know that they're with us? Look at this, guys. Yes. Okay. Yes, we are the light workers. Okay. Nancy G, I got a no on that one, thankfully. Okay. If the rods are correct, unless they cheat again. Okay. When will we be in 5D? Will the veil disappear? Okay. Are we headed to 5D? Yes. Are we already in 5D? And look at that's a little cross right there. So we're already starting. Some of us are already there. Will the veil disappear? Is the veil thinning as we speak? Are the events that are happening in this world prophesied in Revelations? Yes. Yeah. Will we all ascend into the 5D? Oh, it was like a yes. Okay. I was not finished my question yet. Will we all ascend into the 5D in the next 10 years? No. Okay. Will most have ascended into the 5D in the next 10 years? Yes. Okay, I like that. Will we live in a more peaceful world in the next 10 years? Yes. Will we live in a more peaceful world in the next 5 years? It's kind of thinking. Yes. Oh, I like that question, Kendra. Are we splitting into, is this the new earth? Are we splitting? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are some going to stay with the lower vibration? Yes. Will we all eventually ascend? Yes. Okay, I will do that, Gina. Thank you. Gina wants me to ask the rods to point in the direction of their energy. And I'll tell you where they always go for me. And maybe we can even narrow down who it is. Right? Okay. All right. All right. Whoever's assisting with these rods, will you please point in the direction? Yeah. They always go right over my right shoulder. Isn't that funny? Okay. Yeah. Who are we communicating with right now? Are we communicating with any archangels? Yes. Are we communicating with my spirit guides? Yes. Are we communicating with the collective's guides and angels? That's a yes. I really kind of think it's all, right? Yeah. I have, here, I'm going to show you this picture. For me, now everybody I think has something different. I don't know if you can see this picture that I had. This is one of those autographs, but I've shown this before, but you can see these 4 or 5 dots over my head, I feel like are my guides. And then over here is one more. And then there's this, it's a little hard to see, but there's a line that goes right into my ear, which is where I hear messages. And that's where I feel like my major guides live. Okay. So I'm sorry, I missed some questions. Will Earth sentence be widely felt and known soon? Sentience, yeah. Will most be sentient soon? Yes. Yeah. Will Mother Earth be sentient? I don't know if I'm asking that question correctly. Sorry, I think I mangled your question, Annie Bear. Sorry about that. Yes. I went to a place that does, somebody asked how I had this done. Look for somebody who does auragraphs. It's spelled A-U. I'm going to see if I can spell it here. Just search it. They just came to my local shop, one of my local, metaphysical shops. Craig says he mostly hears on his left ear, sometimes both. Isn't that cool? I just love this, and I'm curious if it would be the same. And, the same 5 minutes before me, my friend had hers done, and hers was like all red with a little bit of green or no, like orange right here. It was like this halo of red. And she was going through a lot at the time. Her mother was dying of Alzheimer's, and she just had a lot of stuff happening. And hers looked completely different. It was really crazy. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for for joining me. It was a pleasure, and I love doing these, and I should do more of them, shouldn't I? Especially with all the cuckoo for coconuts that's going on these days. All right. Hanging in the blue light, it seems, says Amanda. Yep. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope I can join you tomorrow night. I do tend to have a long cleanup evening. So if I get out in time, I will try to post something and join everybody. Otherwise, I will join you on Saturday morning, and that will be for personal questions. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kelly, the Mystic Next Door, and I love seeing you here. Thank you so much for the thumbs up and for leaving comments and subscribing. Mwah to everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.